100%.
This is why people don't understand why people voted for an MK party not having read the manifesto.
Yeah.
Because they weren't after the ideology. They were after the set of values that they believe the founder of the MK party represents. Which brings me to my next subject. Talk to me about Jay-Z. Can I tell you my thoughts on it?
Please do.
So let me tell you what I think about Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is, in my mind, one of the smartest strategists alive today. And I'm not being hyperbole.
I agree with you.
And as you know, you and I work in the world of strategy.
I agree with you.
Right. This guy's ahead of his time. And similar to Trump, what people do with Jay-Z is they allow how they feel about him to affect how they analyze him. So very recently, remember, he made that thing about how there's not going to be an elective conference in the MK party. And people lose their minds. Like, how can you not have an elective conference? This is a dictatorship. And I was like, yeah, that seems perfectly logical to me, right? And so my son goes, why would you say it seems logical? Shouldn't he be holding an elective conference? I said, well, think about it. He's just created a party that is now the third largest party in the country. He did it in less than a year. How much infiltration threat do you think he's under? How many other parties do you think are trying to infiltrate this party? I would imagine an order of magnitude what's happening at Rise Mzansi, say. I don't imagine there's people plotting to infiltrate in Rise Mzansi, but there's definitely people
100%.
plotting to infiltrate the MK.
100%.
And I think he's going, I'm going to consolidate power and hold on to it, because I remember that time when you guys used $1 billion to push me out of power in a particular conference, in a particular town, in a particular part of the country.
That idea on its own of being presumptive towards MK. I was avoiding you on the other question.
Yeah.
That's why I went to the left.
Yeah, because I saw you didn't even have make mention of MK.
But the MK sits the army, sits the intelligence, sits the disgruntled ANC personnel that have not benefited from the business transactions in the country. The MK sits the muscle of war in the country. And to think that they are worth nothing, you need to look at the crime records in this country and find out who, if not 15, 20, 30, 40, Bekicele might call me to order to give him the correct statistics. But some of the biggest crimes happening in this country are in the hands of the military personnel who are trained in explosives, in bombs, in guns, etc. And they are not employed in the system. To think that MK is a joke can only come from a person who does not know how military and war works. This is not EFF. This is not NP. This is not DP. This is not AP. This is MK, which is the backbone of the military intelligence of ANC. And when that breaks off with its leader, who is Jacob Zuma, only fools who don't know how strategies work would thumb suck and have lollipops in their mouths. Because this is something. MK's breakaway brings a disparity in ANC between the bourgeoisies and the oligarchs in the financial system and the poor people.
Welcome everyone to another epic episode. I thank you for joining me. Let us just get into it without wasting any time. So Vusi Thembekwayo has said something very interesting about Jacob Zuma. And he had me thinking. I was just thinking to say, okay, this is interesting. So what did Vusi really say? Okay, let's start here. Who is Vusi Thembekwayo? Vusi Thembekwayo is one of the greatest businessmen that we have in this country, and is one of the greatest speakers that we have in the world, right? So Vusi Thembekwayo has said something very interesting concerning the character Jacob Zuma. He says that Jacob Zuma is the greatest strategist of all time. Says that Jacob Zuma is the greatest strategist, right? Now I find this very interesting because he reminded me of another podcast that I saw of Joshua Maponga. So who is Joshua Maponga? Joshua Maponga is one of the greatest theologians that we had, that had transitioned to become the Africanist or the Pan-Africanist, right? Because now he's advocating for Africanism. So that is Joshua Maponga, just in a nutshell. I don't want to maybe explain deeper on their character and so forth, but now you know what they're about. The other one is a businessman that is the world's greatest speaker. The other one is also a businessman, but that is a Pan-Africanist, right? Pan-Africanism, right? That is Joshua Maponga. So before I continue and I talk more of what motivated or what they say further about the character Jacob Zuma, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe in this channel. Remember, it's free of charge. It will not cost you even a little penny. And please don't forget to leave a comment on the section below and maybe explain and maybe comment to say what is your take, what do you think, what maybe you want to ask a question or want just to share your view. It is open for those people. And one thing that you can do, you can please press the super thanks button there and maybe like the video so that it will help the algorithm to reach as many people as possible, right? So Vusi Thembekwayo made an argument to say that, you know, it was very interesting that people here in South Africa voted for the MK party without maybe going through their manifesto or maybe studying about their policies and what they are about and what they represent, right? Then he says that no, it's because people here in South Africa, they believe in the ideology of Jacob Zuma and they believe in the values of Jacob Zuma. So those people who have voted for the MK party is because they see what Vusi Thembekwayo see and saying that Jacob Zuma is the greatest strategist alive that we have today, right? But yeah, I mean, I will respect his opinion. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, right? So you remind me that this is a man that Penuel, the Black Pen, asked him that is he the wisest man of all time or wisest man alive. So Vusi Thembekwayo is blessed with some great intelligence, right? If you are listening to his business motivation, you will just pick up something about him, about the man's intelligence, right? And again, if you listen to a person like Joshua Maponga has some great arguments. He's a very smart man, and for him to say that the MK party represent something very big and very unique. Then he said something to share about the MK party. He said that only fools who don't know how strategies work will suck and have lollipops in their mouth, right? So he said that it's because Jacob Zuma once formulated and became a leader of a military intelligence of the ANC, right? And he says that this is not the EFF, this is not the MP, this is not the DP, this is not the AP, but this is the MK party. And he said that I learned something to say, people, those who are not happy about what is happening in the ANC, they've aligned with the MK party because they were not benefiting, because the ANC has associated themselves with business, right? With the monopoly capital. So with the tenderpreneurship values, business have now been part of the African National Congress, right? It says that there are people who are not benefiting from that system. So most of them moved to join the MK party because they saw that the values of what the African National Congress represent no longer have a benefit for them. That is what Joshua Maponga said. But yeah, he said something that I want us to take note of and to talk about, because this represent everything that we knew that was said by the CIC, the EFF president Julius Malema, when he says that only fools who don't know how strategies work, right? So Joshua Maponga says Jacob Zuma is a strategist, right? Then he said that Jacob Zuma is doing this to self-correct the ANC. It means that Joshua Maponga agrees with what Jacob Zuma is always telling us, that he's self-correcting the ANC, right? By personally, I still don't understand it. Maybe MK party members, please leave your comment there. Let us hear how are you guys maybe correcting the ANC. How is the MK party correcting the ANC? Do you understand the leader, the president, Jacob Zuma, when he says that he's going underground, and the strategy that he has taken is to self-correct the ANC, right? So I just want to know that, isn't it that when you want to correct something, you must be part of that thing, right? But I will understand, because he wants dual membership. He wants to have a membership of the ANC while he's holding the membership of the MK party. So it means that he is the greatest strategist, I guess, according to Vusi, Thembekwayo, and Joshua Maponga, right? So please leave your comment. I want to know what you think, what's your take, right? So the MK party members, please subscribe to this channel. The EFF party members, you can ask questions, you can also comment. Please subscribe to this channel. There's ANC members, please subscribe to this channel. The PA, the IFP, the DA, everyone who's watching, if this video landed on your hands, on your eyes, please support this channel so that we'll grow bigger. We'll talk more politics. And we just saw the greatest man admiring the former president, right? Maybe these strategists need to join the MK so that we will see their wisdom there, right? Okay, maybe not Joshua Maponga because he's from Zim, but Vusi Thembekwayo maybe needs to go there to MK party because it seems like he admires the man. I remember during the times of COVID, he was so angry at Cyril Ramaphosa. So I would say maybe Vusi Thembekwayo loves and prefers Jacob Zuma because he was so angry. He was so angry, even casted him. He was so angry at Cyril Ramaphosa, said somebody better tell Cyril to shut the heck up, right? So if he didn't step the heck up, then Cyril must be out. So yeah, he's a stern criticizer of Cyril Ramaphosa.
Somebody tell Cyril that he better step the fuck up. Tell him I said so.
But when it comes to Jacob Zuma, because what Vusi Thembekwayo has said now 2 weeks back from as I'm doing this presentation, Vusi Thembekwayo said the same thing last year when he was asked who he would choose, which person would he choose to have a dinner with. It was a dinner or lunch with or something like that. He said Jacob Zuma because he's a strategist. So you can tell that he has not changed his position. Last year he said the same thing before election. This year he's saying the same thing after the election. Right? It's been now almost a year saying the same thing. So we'll tell that Vusi Thembekwayo and Jacob Zuma, that man loves Jacob Zuma. I'm out. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We'll meet again. We'll discuss more about this politics. Angseko. Sharp.